about the present, and I hope right now we'll talk about the future. It's been a reoccurring topic today. I believe it's something called the collective conscious, when a couple of people think about similar issues and similar problems. And we've all been discussing and talking about the problem. And today I want to address the solution and the step forward. I've been working with Mayor Dan Rivera and Economic Director Abel Vargas on being able to find a way to address our housing crisis. I brought a solution that's been pioneered in many other cities across the nation and other places across the globe. I've gained a lot of support from organizations such as E4All, who have given us grant funding, and also the Midas Collaborative, who has given us funding. We are in talks with the city of Holyoke as well as the city of Haverhill. But I am from Lawrence, and I want to pioneer this project here in my city.
Yeah!
So, just for us to objectify, and I think we all know this, but we are going through a major housing crisis. As an immigrant city, right now our people cannot afford to live in the city. As a young man at 22 years old, I do not see myself being able to afford an apartment here, and that is very scary.
It is.
Right now, I am a student at Lawrence Community Works in the residency program. I've been there for 3 years, been lucky to have a free place to live, and that's given me the economic freedom to pursue being able to change the city. So, right now, rents, and these are facts, are averaging somewhere between $1,200 to $1,600 and $1,700 a month. I did a survey this summer, and people in Lawrence are renting for over 20 years in the same property. So if we do the math, you're looking at $1,500 over the span of 12 months, over the span of 20 years. You're having people spend $250,000 on just paying rent. $250,000. And if you look at it, 70% of the population of Lawrence are renters. 70%, that's the highest number in any city in the Commonwealth, not even the city of Boston. So you have the majority of the funds and income of the city going to the top 30% of homeowners. Now, since 1980, the population of the city has grown by 20% and it continues to grow. But sadly, and very odd, housing has only grown by 2%. And we've seen the media and we've seen the news. Every day and every other day there's a fire, there's a building collapsing, and we really can't build houses fast enough to address our issue. So this is where we come along. Casita is a community-centered company whose mission is to develop eco-villages. What do I mean by community-centered? I mean, to address this problem, we cannot wait for a savior to come from Boston, a savior to come from any other city. We have to address our own problem with our own resources. We have great organizations such as YouthBuild, such as Greater Lawrence Technical School, such as Jackson Lumber, that provide the workforce and the products to address our own housing crisis.
Exactly.
Something really cool about this project. 2 years ago, Dan left, he went to a housing seminar, and this woman, Carisi Gibson, was talking about modular stacking. This was 2 years ago. Mr. Rivera wrote that woman a letter, but sadly she never responded. When the Casita project started going underway, that same woman contacted us because she heard about what we're trying to do. The idea is very simple. To build houses here in the city, what we're doing is that we're building and prefabricating our homes off-site, right? We're working with Flame Textiles, that's right there on Elder Street, the giant warehouse. It's our last steel manufacturing site in the city. We're using that space to prefabricate modular housing units. What I mean, and very simple, put it in layman's terms, it's pretty much a Lego block of a home. So, I explained this idea. I've been traveling from Boston. I traveled everywhere from Lowell, received a lot of support, and I've been working with Abel and Dan. They showed me 16 properties to choose one. And I went, I drove around, and the best property that I seen was a property in South Lawrence in 24 Durham Street. It's a city-owned property. And the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because we hope to do a direct deposition. And today you have nothing to vote on, but part of politics and part of community is we have to get the people aware, and I am speaking today just to make you guys aware, just so you guys can know what is being done, I'm not a politician, but I am doing this work for the city because I love it. So back to this. So, the property right now is assessed at $10,000. We're offering the city, because we don't have too many funds, we're offering the city that will purchase it for $5,000. The reason why we want this property is because it's a quick build. Compared to all the other properties in the city, this is one that, as a small startup in a company with a big idea, but a company that doesn't have the type of funds that Lawrence Community Works has, or another organization in the city has, we need to start with small sites that are easy, so we can be able to take the next step forward and address the housing crisis in a fast and quick way. The reason why we like this property, again, is next to a school, is next to transportation, and there's a parking lot right next door, so we don't have to build any new parking. As well as the zoning for the property is multi-family zoning. So, let's say we disposition this property today. What would we do, mi casita? We would turn the property into a community space, a garden space, where people can automatically see a change and beautify the property. I understand that the city of Lawrence, it's hard for you guys to maintain all the blighted and abandoned properties in the city. So, as we're working on constructing the unit off-site, we could create a garden for the people to use it while we develop on another, within our building site. You see, you are now developing the property simultaneously as you're developing the building. This is very different. And it increases efficiency, increases time, saves everybody money, and brings jobs to the city. So now, as this property becomes a garden, we'll simultaneously be developing the living unit. This living unit has been pioneered again in other cities. It's become very popular. It's 400 square feet, right? It's a building that is designed for our elderly population. Right now, in the city of Lawrence, and I've done the studies, we have a large elderly population that is living on a pension that doesn't have the financial resources to be able to become homeowners. Now we're providing them with a smaller space that contains everything they need to survive and making it affordable. We are making our elderly become homeowners so that they have security in their lifestyle. We're also creating the unit so that it's affordable for youth. It's also affordable for something that's important for me, and it's single women. We have a large population of single mothers in the city who are working a lot, who are struggling and are forced into spaces that they don't want to be. And this is an opportunity to provide a unit that is affordable enough for our elderly, for our youth, for our women, for everybody. Now, we start off with building one unit, right? This is what's special about this project. It's build as you go. We don't have to spend $30, $20 million on building an entire site and then waiting for people to go there. We build the units one by one as people come. It saves the city money, it saves the company money, it gives workers constant work, and it keeps things moving at the pace that it needs to be. So we start off with one unit. On a site like 24 Durham Street, in the next year, we could put at least 4 units, right? But we could also go as high as 12 units stacked in the same property, right? 12 units. And right now, the previous home on that site probably only had 4 units. This is an additional 8 units. that are affordable and are going to be worked to become home ownership properties for our people. So, it's a short presentation, well, shorter than Mr. Dan Rivera's presentation. But the Mi Casita idea has been very popular. We've gotten recognition from the Boston Globe. We've been written up in the Eagle Tribune. We were even featured on Fox 25. Everybody is looking at Lawrence right now. And I seriously want to do this here because I know it will work here. I know we have the infrastructure. I know we can raise the funds and the capital to do it. And I've already done it in a matter of less than a year. And if we have the city support and the councilor support, we can address the housing crisis the way it needs to be. It will bring more homeowners to the city, it will increase the tax base, increase local jobs, and it's going to empower your community. So, as we're working on the direct acquisition, I ask you guys to think about this. Talk to Dan, talk to April, let's make this happen. Because right now, we need a solution. I'm not coming here talking to you guys and screaming to you guys about the problems. I'm saying, look, there is a problem and we can get something done and all we need is a chance.
We need a solution, not the problem.
So, thank you for your time. That's all I have to say to you guys. Wow. Again, thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak here. You're the man.
Councilors, once again, as Mr. Fernando mentioned, this is for information purposes only, tonight. His intention is to purchase property owned by the city and state, which we will later address in future meetings and through the federal process with director's decision. I don't know if you would like to take any questions from council, if there's any at this point.
I would love to take questions, guys.
Councilor Alvarez, Rodriguez.
Just wondering if you guys copies of the PowerPoint, if he has copies of the PowerPoint.
I will send that to you. I will definitely send that to you tonight.
Okay, so we can have it.
Yeah, send it to everybody in the council.
Thank you.
Okay, councilors, if there's no further discussion or questions, can I consider a motion to withdraw from here, 217?
So, second.